Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified Doctor of Naturopathy, Dr. Stephen Cabral, shares with you exactly how you can reverse aging, take back your health, and live a life full of energy and passion, with new 20-minute episodes every single day to keep you healthy and engaged. Now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Welcome, everybody. We are here today with our second Cabral HouseCall of the weekend, getting into our community's questions, just like we do each and every weekend. Today's going to be episode 2900. So if you want to follow along with the 5 or 6 questions from the community here today, head on over to stephencabral.com/2900. And while you're there, pick up a copy of The Rain Barrel Effect. It's completely free. You just pay for shipping. I pay for the book. And of course, any profits left over at the end of the day, everything gets donated to charity. All right, let's get into today's questions. Let's see where we are, where we picked off from yesterday. First question is going to be from Jenna, excuse me. And Jenna says, I experience vivid nightmares when taking melatonin. Why is that? And is there any way to avoid it? Yeah, I've looked into this before. So it's not common, but some people do get nightmares when taking melatonin, or they have more vivid dreams. Now, when I looked into the research, it said that there's no specific correlation between melatonin and nightmares, but there is that melatonin helps people get a little bit more deep sleep, but also much more REM sleep. And REM sleep is typically where we can remember and recall our dreams to a greater degree. And so it's often enabling people to stay in REM longer. And then if they have worries on their mind, if they have something that they're kind of struggling with, then it could lead more to nightmares. So what I found isn't necessarily the melatonin. If you are getting more of the deep and or REM sleep, like I do, it works really well for me at a small dosage. So sometimes the dosage, I only use 2.5 milligrams a night, but see what you're using for a dosage as well. We use the liquid melatonin from Equilife, and then you can just use drops of it. So you can kind of go up and down however you like. You can literally go by like 0.1. So it's easy. So here's what I would say. Also work on other areas of your life that might be causing more stress. Now, I know easier said than done, but journaling before bed, gratitude, deep breathing, not watching the nightly news, any of those things that might be very stressful or inducing nightmares. Okay, let's move on to Grace's question. Grace says, hi, Dr. Cabral. I'm a 25-year-old female. I've been taking basal temperature every morning through natural cycles as a form of birth control. My temperature is always fluctuating between mid-96 to mid-97 degrees. I learned in level 1 of IHP, this could be a sign of central nervous system fatigue. I don't believe to have any other symptoms of CNS. What tests would you recommend to run, as well as what symptoms to look for? Okay, yeah, happy to help. So if you can only run one lab to look to see if your thyroid may be low or cortisol levels may be high or low, I would run the stress, mood, and metabolism test. You can find that at stephencabral.com/shop. That'll send you over to Equilife and just type in stress, mood, and metabolism. Now, of course, if you can, run the big 5. But if you're only looking for one lab, you run the stress, mood, and metabolism, and that will let you know to a very high degree for sure. The other thing that you may want to run is the starter kit. And the starter kit is going to show you your mineral levels, your vitamin levels, your heavy metals, potentially, if you have any, and gut health. So that would look at other levels causing inflammation that might actually be then fatiguing the central nervous system on a lower degree. All right? Because you really do want to have your body temperature in the 98s. Ideally, you really do. Even if it's just 98.0, it just shows a stronger metabolic rate, metabolism, circulation, etc. Now, is it bad to be in the 97s? Not necessarily, but when you get to the 96s, a little bit different of a story. That's certainly showing certainly a lowered metabolic rate. Okay. Again, I have to give you my disclaimer. I can't provide you with any medical cures, medical diagnosis, medical, what else? Medical diagnosis, medical cures, all the medical things. Can't provide you with any of those. All right. So we're giving you a natural health-based root cause symptomology rather than giving medical advice on the show. Okay. Katy's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. So appreciative of all you do and share. I heard you mention testing for parasites with a stool test, but I'm wondering, are there other ways you can or should test to find them elsewhere in the body? I'm working on figuring out the root cause of my symptoms and wondering if parasite could be a cause, even though it showed up negative in a stool test done with a separate functional medicine doctor. Also, could parasite cause bloating if they are elsewhere, not in the gut from the body. I have a lot of symptoms, but serious bloating being one of them. Lastly, if I'm unable to confirm with the tests and just do the parasite protocol, would I assume I had parasites if I started to feel symptoms improve? Thank you. Okay. So let's take it from the top. I really recommend running a 3-day bacteria and parasite stool test. If you're only running a 1 day, not as likely you're going to find anything, but 3-day, much more optimistic you will. Okay. Second, can you use other tests to find them other parts of the body? Yes, they would require going to a medical doctor and potentially even an infectious medical doctor to run specific blood work. So that's a yes, you could. If you get bloating, could the parasites be somewhere else in the body and cause the bloating? Most likely not. Most likely there's something going on with your gut, and it's most likely either parasites, H. pylori, slow bowel motility, a lot of times from stress, or candida overgrowth and or SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. So that's really what we're looking at. And I would run the big 3 labs. And then it comes with a consultation and it comes with a complete plan just for you. Now, if you want to do your last question was, can you do the parasite protocol? And if you start to feel some symptoms improve, could it be that? Yes. Parasites can live under biofilm. They don't always show up in stool tests. So yes, you can always do the ParaPro. Ours is called the Parasupport protocol. You're welcome to. Again, you can find all of these things over at our practice, and our practice at stevencabral.com/shop. All right. Hopefully that was helpful, Katy. Elizabeth's up next. Elizabeth says, hi, Dr. Cabral. I recently heard an episode where you answered a question about eczema from swimming in hot tubs. That has been my experience my whole life, whether it's brominated, chlorinated, or salt pools. I've always been a swimmer, but I had to give it up in my mid-20s when I finally realized my eczema was getting worse every swim season and would then take a few months to heal, just in time for the new swim season to start. Since quitting swimming, I fully healed. But recently, I started drinking goat's milk after being mostly dairy-free for over 10 years and got a horrible eczema reaction. My question is this. I read everywhere that goat's milk heals eczema. But why do you think it's making mine worse? Could the culprit be my liver? And will I ever be able to eat dairy? Thank you. Okay, so I don't know who told you that goat's milk cures eczema, but that is not true in any way, shape, or form. And I'm usually not like someone that says anything that bold, but that is not true. I always do say that the number one food to eliminate if you have eczema is cow's milk. That's for sure. But it doesn't mean that you can automatically consume a goat or sheep milk. It doesn't always mean that. It means that people are typically less sensitive to goat and sheep. So no, dairy for 100% is the number one food sensitivity. I've run hundreds of thousands of labs. I've seen this in my practice. I mean, I just try to share this with people. Obviously, I have nothing against cows or goats or sheep. They're all, fantastic rumen animals, but it is what it is. So when we're looking at eczema, different than psoriasis, we're looking at more autoimmune. I'm typically looking at gut permeability with maybe candida or SIBO, other things going on, and or stress, right? So intestinal permeability with gut issues and stress. That's what I'm looking at usually with psoriasis. Okay. Now, sometimes it's heavy metals. It can be other things as well. I'm not saying that's not part of it as well. But eczema, usually, luckily, it's food sensitivities. Not all the time, but low stomach acid often, and food sensitivities, maybe, yes, some liver congestion. I would do a 21-day functional medicine detox. Again, I can't provide you with any medical advice. That's what I would do. And then when you do decide to go swimming, you may want to so vitamin C really helps after you get out of the pool. That's a big one. And coconut oil. Coconut oil before you get in the pool, if the pool allows it, you basically just take coconut oil, rub it on your body. And what it does, it creates a first moisturizer. The second is it creates a barrier between you and the water. Is it perfect? No, of course not. But it does create a barrier, and that barrier then can stop that chlorine from drying out the skin as well and changing that microbiome of your skin. So those are just a couple quick tips, and Elizabeth, hopefully that's helpful. All right, Bettina is up next. Dear Dr. Cabral, what are your thoughts on omega-3 oil from Calanus finmarchicus? I don't know if that's pronounced correctly, but if you want to see how it's spelled, head on over to stevencabral.com/2900. I found a product which I'm curious to hear your thoughts on. 2 pills contain the following: SDA 75 milligrams, EPA 73 milligrams, DHA 53 milligrams, total omega-3s 230 milligrams. And then it has astaxanthin 1700 IUG and vitamin D3 of just 10 units. So could this be an alternative to regular omega-3 supplement? Thank you for your time and thoughts on this. So this is basically the same exact thing. I know it's not exactly the same, but almost exactly the same thing as krill oil. It is a plankton. I don't know how to pronounce that for sure, but I looked into it. And yeah, it's very much like krill oil. So krill oil does not move the needle on omega-3s. I've seen all sorts of studies. I actually used krill oil in let's say 2007, 2008 for sure. It was smaller capsules. All the literature I was reading was that it was better absorbed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, here's the problem. It's too low a dose of omega-3s. When you actually run your omega-3 levels, it does not move the needle into improving your omega-6s to omega-3s. I know that definitively because I've run so many omega-3 tests. So again, I have the data, I have the evidence, and that's why I always, I'll trust you for a moment maybe, but I want to verify. It doesn't move the needle. Now, here's the amazing thing about krill oil and whatever this name is of this other plankton. The astaxanthin is actually a really powerful antioxidant, really powerful. And so you could take, I'm not saying anything bad about this product. Take your daily omega-3 support. We know that works. But then you may want to use 2 milligrams or 4 milligrams. And I actually don't know if it's in milligrams or different for astaxanthin, but you can take an actually just specific astaxanthin product if you'd like, or you can take this product. There's nothing wrong with the product. It's just, I know, but again, you don't even have to trust me. You can take your inflammation test and you can literally say, oh, did it move the needle? Yes or no? So don't take your daily omega-3 support if you don't want. Take this product. See how it affects your omega-3 levels. I'm guaranteeing you it will not move the needle like the daily omega-3. And here's why. Daily omega-3 support, or an equivalent, you don't have to use Equalife, so that's totally fine. You'll notice that per soft gel, you're getting 1,000 milligrams, basically, right? And for 2, which is what we recommend, 2 grams per day. Okay, well, the difference is instead of 2,000 milligrams, this has 73 milligrams for 53. So it has 126 milligrams for 2 capsules. 126 milligrams. Ours says 2,000 milligrams. There's just a massive discrepancy. Maybe it gets absorbed a little better. It doesn't matter because it's nowhere near the right ratio. It's just not. I'm very confident about this because I tested fish oil versus krill oil so many different times because I thought I was like, well, krill oil, it's much more sustainable. These are smaller fish. It's easier. It has the astaxanthin, but it never moved the needle. So very confident on this. I don't know that anybody's done more testing in this particular area than Equalife and myself. So hopefully that's helpful. All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are going to keep it at that for today because I'm looking at the next question and it's a long one. And I am trying to keep the podcast to 12 to 15 minutes because what I would love for you to do, especially moving into this next year, is try, if possible, consume it on a daily basis. So you get a little bit more information each and every day. And then over time, you're accumulating this knowledge. And then you're also referencing back this show and that show, and it builds up over time. That's really what it's all about. So I don't want to weigh you down on any one show. What I want to do is a little bit of information every single day. Let me know what questions you have. I'm here to help. So thank you so much for being a part of this community. We thank you. We appreciate you. If you haven't already subscribed to the show, each and every day, a brand new Cabral concept coming out. Take care, everybody. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my health results accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stevencabral.com/courses.